Welcome to a daily word of encouragement with Celebration Church in Thomasville, Georgia. We believe that the Bible is God's word to all people. We love God, we love each other, and we are changing our world one relationship at a time. We want to help you know and love God's word. Join Pastor Jimmy Bryson each day as we discover how to seek God and live our lives encouraged by His word.
Good morning. Psalm chapter 9, verse 1 says, I will praise thee. Oh, stop. Hit the pause button. The word praise is the same word we've been looking at the last few days. It is yadah, Y-A-D-A-H, and it means to throw the hand, to thrust the hand, to extend the hand in gratitude to the Lord. So one of the ways we express our gratitude is not only vocally, we sing our gratitude and we speak our gratitude. One of the ways we express our gratitude to the Lord is to extend our hand in praise to Him. So that's the word that David uses when he writes Psalm chapter 9. So let's start back over again. He says, I will. Now that's resolve. That's what I've been talking about, developing a mindset of gratitude, resolve, not an attitude. Attitudes fluctuate according to situations or circumstances. A mindset is a fixed state of mind. So you're going to see here in Psalm chapter 9 that David has a fixed state of mind. So let's start back over again. Let's try to see if the third time's a charm. I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will show forth all your marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing to your name, O thou most high. Listen to verse 11. Sing praises to the Lord, which dwells in Zion. Declare among the people his doings. Listen to verse 14. That I may show forth all your praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion. I will rejoice in your salvation. So 1, 2, 3, at least 4 times David declares, I will give thanks. Now, this Psalm chapter 9 is a classic example of what theologians call a lament psalm, L-A-M-E-N-T, a lament psalm. It's kind of technical, but a lament psalm has 5 ingredients as it's structured. And the most prominent of the 5 ingredients of a lament psalm is the lament itself. So what David does is he begins by making a declaration in Psalm 9, I will thank thee, verse 1. I will show forth all your marvelous works, verse 1. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing to your name, O thou most high. So David starts out resolving or making a declaration that I will give thanks. Now, what we're going to see is the remainder of that psalm, David describes his lament. David moves in and starts talking about evil people and all that the evil people were doing. And he goes into great detail about the wickedness and what evil people were doing. So he's lamenting. He's lamenting something, that there are evil people. He calls them his enemy. He calls them God's enemy. He wants God to judge them. And he even, verse 19 says, Arise, O Lord, let no man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in your sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves that they are but men. Stop and think about it. So he's lamenting in verses 3 through 20. But he starts, watch this, by saying, I will thank you. So let me give you a couple thoughts here. First of all, his situation is not the best situation. His circumstance is not a good circumstance because he's in the middle of wickedness. He's in the middle of evil people. Do you ever feel that way sometime? In your home? Just kidding. Well, maybe so. At work, wherever you may go, you just feel like, man, I'm just in the middle of a hot mess all the time because all these evil, wicked people are surrounding me, and I just wish God would take care of them. Well, David feels your pain. Now, let me show you how David dealt with feeling that pain. He said, I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. So, take two thoughts away from this. David, in the middle of wickedness, David thanks God freely. Listen to what he says. I will thank you, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will show forth your marvelous works. I'm going to show them forth. I'm going to recount or declare all of your marvelous works. In the midst of my bad time, in the midst of this hot mess, I will declare your marvelous works. I will be glad. Hey, all the demons of hell seem to be coming against me, and yet I will be glad. I'm going to rejoice in you. I'm not rejoicing because of my circumstances, but in my circumstances, you are the joy of my salvation. Somebody shout me down because I'm finna start preaching right now. And then he says, I will sing praise. I will sing gratitude to your name, O Most High. So David recognizes that God is the Most High God. He recognizes that God is above his situation, God is above his circumstance, and God, because God never changes, God deserves to be the object of his gratitude. So he freely thanks God. The second thing he does is he fully thanks God. Listen to verse 1. I will thank you, O Lord, with my whole heart. Stop. Do you see that? David did not give half-hearted gratitude. And you got to remember that this is not even a good time David was experiencing. Even in a bad time, David recognized the goodness of God, the greatness of God, and the godness of God, if you read it carefully there. And so it compelled David because he had a mindset of gratitude. In everything, give thanks. In the midst of our enemies, give thanks. In the midst of evil people coming against us and those that we love, give thanks. So he gives thanks fully with his whole heart. No half-heartedness, no little pity-patter. He gave God thanksgiving with everything. I can just imagine with every fiber of his being. He did it singing, he did it talking, he did it rejoicing, he did it with a glad attitude and a glad heart. So my encouragement to you today is this. Recognize the goodness of God. Recognize the godness of God. Recognize the gifts of God in the midst of your situation, and focus on how good God is, how great God is, how God is, and how gifted God is, and give God thanks freely with your singing, with the lifting of your hands, with your talking, with your rejoicing, and do it with your whole heart.